How many of you have played EXODIA in Edison format? Raise your hands. Today we're playing EXODIA. Last week I made a deck that used Amoeba and Suzuki Samurai number 3, gifted them to my opponent, and then attacked into them, and I drew like 20 cards.
300 damage for 6 cards? I mean that's pretty good.
And some people in the comments suggested that I try putting EXODIA in the deck, and we're playing Suzuki Samurai EXODIA. I've taken out all the cards that could help me win the game just by attacking, and now it is an EXODIA deck. Here it is, my EXODIA Suzuki Samurai draw deck. The whole idea is you can draw 7 cards. That's the whole idea. And there's also some interesting techs. The Karibo engine, I cannot believe I just said that. This deck has a Karibo engine. Not only is it great because you need a second monster to attack into Suzuki Samurai, but it is a quick play spell. This means you can activate it during the battle phase after you draw it. The whole point of this deck is you are trying to trigger Suzuki Samurai as many times as possible, many times during the same battle phase. The Flute of Summoning Karibo, the Damage Condenser, these all can be used to get monsters out of the deck and then smash them into Suzuki Samurai in order to draw into EXODIA. Obviously, if your guy sticks around on your opponent's side of the field, you can do this every single turn. So yeah, second time EXODIA is showing up in Curse Tech. Let's see what happens. Let's check out the duels.
All right, this first game we are trying to summon EXODIA, and we drew Damage Condenser and a way to swap it. So if they attack into us, that's okay. They didn't attack into us, but we draw a Dandelion, which is quite good. They are going to just keep setting and passing, and then they trap dust shoot us, and they see a hilarious hand. At least we did not draw any EXODIA pieces yet. They're going to take that quick draw, but that is not too much of a problem because we still have this Damage Condenser set, which will let us discard the Dandelion. We just keep drawing cards. They're going to normal summon a Shura of the Blue Flame. We will take that 1800, and then we can activate Damage Condenser. I think this is the most underexplored jank card in Edison format. I mean, any jank deck that is trying to do some silly jank thing can just take advantage of this card. It summons any monster out of the deck, especially if the monster has low attack. So we summon out this guy, and then we draw a hand destruction. Unfortunately, we snipe the Icarus attack, which is the worst case scenario. Yeah, we are going to activate Reckless Greed. We draw some cards. We're then going to activate Allure of Darkness. We draw some more cards. We're going to banish that dark. We're going to set another card and pass our turn. They're going to normal summon Blizzard, summon back the Shura, and then they make an Armed Wing. And this is honestly the best case scenario for us, because this will do piercing damage, and now we can activate another Damage Condenser because we took that damage. So we're going to summon out the Suzuki Samurai. He's going to set a card and pass again. We do not draw from the Reckless. We're then going to activate Mystic Box. That'll pop this guy, and we give him the Suzuki Samurai. We're then going to attack into this, and it gets deprisoned. We're then going to activate Flute of Summoning Karibo. This summons out the Karibo, and we can attack in, and he will Mirror Force. But the third monster to summon out is going to work. So we're going to summon out that Karibo from the deck, and we will take 1000 damage for 6 cards. And we finally draw a piece of EXODIA. 17 cards left in the deck. During the battle phase, we can activate this hand destruction, getting rid of some more cards. Unfortunately, we went through all of our Karibos. This was a slightly earlier version when I did not have the wing Karibos. I quickly added some wing Karibos. So we're going to activate another hand destruction. He will discard 2 and draw 2 as well as myself. And then we will activate another hand destruction, discarding 2 and drawing 2. And thankfully we draw into another Reckless Greed, so that is quite good. He's going to summon a Greffer, spam the field with a bunch of monsters. He goes into the battle phase. We will activate Battle Fader, and then he's just going to pass his turn. I decide to not use those Recklesses beforehand. I'm going to set that Heavy Storm, go into the battle phase, and we will take 1,000 damage for 6 cards. And we see 2 more pieces of Exodia. We can activate this Hand Destruction. He had 2 Kalutes in his hand, which is very funny. Then we activate Reckless Greed, and then we activate 1 more Reckless Greed, and there we go. Exodia, the Forbidden One, appears. And we just won against Blackwings, so that's, you know, that's something, I guess. This next game, we are up against Volcanics, and yes, I mean pure Volcanics, and our opening hand looks insane. I mean, the Damage Condenser is just my new favorite jank card. I've been looking at this card for a long time. I used to put it in my Diva Zombies, and you can just summon out Plague, you could summon out Malicious. Like, it's just an interesting card when you have good discard fodder. So we're just going to set 2 cards and pass our turn. He's going to normal summon the Rocket, add the Blaze Accelerator from his deck to his hand, activate Card Destruction, which is kind of funny. We're just getting 4 cards deeper. Not like we had bad cards, but, you know how it is. He draws a bunch of cards, and then he's going to activate his Volcanic Shell. That will add another shell from his deck to his hand. He's going to attack us for 1,900, and we will activate the Damage Condenser, discarding the other Damage Condenser. We summon out the Sasuke Samurai. He sets 2 cards, and we draw another Reckless, which is not too bad. We are going to activate this Mystic Box that will pop his monster, and we will give him the Sasuke Samurai. And then in the battle phase, we can summon out a Winged Karibo from the deck. We can attack into it, and yeah, +6. Not too bad. We did not draw into any pieces of Exodia. We are 20 cards into the deck, still no Exodia, but we're going to get a Drill Warrior in rotation. Even though we're not, like, attacking, what the heck is going on? Did you guys hear that? I don't know. Something's going on outside. Anyway, we summon the Drill Warrior, and then we draw some cards. He activates... Oh, yeah, he activated Hand Destruction. Sorry, there was, like, some explosions going on. Hand Destruction against the Exodia deck is very funny, and we finally see our first piece of Exodia after 20 cards in the deck. He's going to normal summon that Rocket, add a Blaze Accelerator from his graveyard to his hand, activate the shell. He's just doing volcanic stuff. That is not a problem. He's going to clear this Winged Karibo, and then he is going to clear this token, and then he is just going to set a card and pass his turn. The head, finally another piece of Exodia. We get the Drill Warrior back. This will add from our graveyard to our hand a Quick Draw. Quick Draw is always good in this version of the deck because it just lets you get cards out of your hand, and the less cards in your hand, the more cards you can draw, which is very funny. We're going to go into the battle phase, take 300 damage from this, and then we can activate Damage Condenser after we take that damage, and then we can draw 5 cards. I think that's how that worked. If I cheated, please let me know in the comments. Then we can summon out another Karibo. Then we can attack into this Sasuke Samurai. We can make some tokens and draw 1 more card. And we draw into a Hand Destruction. We can then activate Reckless Greed. And then another Reckless Greed. Come on, we need 1 more piece. Okay, no more pieces. But we can activate Hand Destruction. Okay, there's 6 cards left in deck. Come on, okay. Okay, we didn't get it, but we can activate Heavy Storm. He activates Starlight Road, but honestly, that's probably fine. We're going to activate MST on his back row. We're then going to use Drill Warrior. We're going to swap him a guy, set a card, and then pass the turn. And I think he has 3 volcanic counters in his graveyard. So we need to draw it off of this Reckless Greed or we lose. And there we go. Another Exodia. That's how it goes. And surprisingly, my opponent wanted to do the game too. So, oh my god. Are you all witnessing this hand that I have just drawn? 3 pieces of Exodia? Okay, this is fairly good, but we just have to pass the turn because we have no plays. He's going to normal summon the Rocket, attack us for 1,900, and then pass his turn. And we draw a Reckless Greed. We're going to set 2 cards and pass. He flips the Raikou, and we decide to... What the... 4 pieces of Exodia? 4 pieces? Are you kidding me? But unfortunately for us, we need to survive 2 turns because we still have no plays. We needed either a creature swap or a mystic box in order to gift the Sasuke Samurai, and we are losing life points very quickly. So that is not good at all. We're going to set this card. He's going to activate Heavy Storm, and then he activates Hand Destruction. He just activates Hand Destruction against the Exodia. He kept in Hand Destruction against the Exodia deck, and he doesn't know it, but we have 4 pieces of Exodia in our hand. Incredible. Incredible. So we are going to discard 2, and we draw Reckless Greed and a Mystic Box. Okay. Then we summon out the Winged Karibo. He's going to activate Charge, but he does not have any targets, so he will put those back. And then he's going to activate Blaze Accelerator. He's going to discard a card to pop our Winged Karibo, and he's also going to inflict 500 damage to us with the Scatter Shot. He's going to normal summon this Firestorm Guards, but for some reason he doesn't use the effect. And now he's going to pass his turn. And we still can't draw from Reckless Greed, but fortunately for us, we drew into another Reckless Greed. So we are going to set 2 cards and Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. Okay. Are you kidding me? He hits the Reckless Greed. Okay, just for fun, I'm going to activate it, and let's see if we would have won. 2 cards, no Exodia piece, but what can I say? It was just so funny that his deck was making me potentially draw into Exodia. And that's why any Exodia player will say that drawing the pieces is very bad in the early game. You kind of need to get your engine started, and then you draw them towards the end. And he wanted to play game number 3, so here's game number 3, but it honestly was not too interesting. Unfortunately, our 1 attack gets stopped, so we cannot draw 6 cards, and that's really the death of this deck, is when your 1 attack gets stopped, you've used all your resources because you wanted to draw as many cards as possible. And yeah, so that was game number 3. My opponent was very kind, and yeah, let's talk about the deck.
I mean, is this version of Exodia better than the Floodgate version? It's definitely funnier. You're definitely trying to do something funny, and it's also not that bad. I mean, I was envisioning when I was going in that I was going to try to draw it all in 1 turn, but a lot of times gifting your opponent a monster, they can't do anything about it, and you just draw out your entire deck in like 4 turns, which is like unheard of in Exodia decks. It's either like you stall and wait, or you have some cheesy all at one time draw your whole deck, and this deck is kind of like a, you know, a 3 or 4 turn draw out your whole deck, which is nice. I don't know. The gameplay is funny. It's not, you don't play as many Floodgates, so you can sleep better at night. That's got to count for something. This deck is going to go into the fun and cheesy tier. I think the Sasuke Samurai package definitely works better with the quick draw, attacking your opponent, gaining advantage game plan, but this one surprisingly also works. So, you know, maybe Sasuke Samurai can just do anything. Maybe he will show up again in another Cursed Tech episode next week. So look forward to that, and yeah, have a good one.